Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of Who Knew, the weekly show where we discuss all things pop culture, comic books, movies, TV shows and games and tell you all the things you might not have known about them even though you definitely already do. I'm Harry and as always I'm joined by my co-hosts Matthew and Annabelle.
Pleasure to be here.
Hello.
We recorded our pilot episode on the 8th of December and now we're here in the new year ready to start bringing comic book, movie and TV show news straight to your ear holes every single Monday. Let's crack on with it. So I think we're straight in with this week's news segment. So has anybody got any news they want to bring to the table?
So about a week and a half ago to about 2 weeks ago, the new Magic set dropped, Oath of the Gatewatch. It's pretty fun. Just gonna put that out there. It's pretty great. Well, I'd say it's pretty great.
I'll come into this as an outsider.
Outsider.
Bought a
me.
Magic deck
Yeah.
when people were that I knew were getting into it, and when I bought the Magic deck,
Yep.
people were like, "We don't want to play anymore."
This is expensive. I don't like this.
And I was just thinking, like, well, it's a good thing I didn't order the booster box.
All of the booze. Yeah, definitely don't do that.
So,
on a casual
how
one.
often does sets come? Is it like
Yeah.
3 or 4 a year?
So within a set, there's 2 blocks.
Okay.
So you get 2 different little mini sets, I guess, within one overarching
It's already
set.
getting really confusing.
This is
I
already
know
gonna
nothing
confuse
about
people.
magic. Yeah,
Okay.
just go for it. I'm gonna.
We can just skim over all of these questions,
Yeah.
and I'll just go. It's cards. There's cards, and you spend money on them.
Okay. Yep.
Because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, which
Yeah.
is an alternative card game to Magic, and I literally knew nothing about that even when I played it. Like, things would just come out and I'd go, oh, that's cool, there's new stuff that's come out. I'm not going to buy it because it's really, really expensive.
Yeah.
That's basically how it happens.
That's how, like, I played Pokemon card game, and I played the Pokemon card game and Yu-Gi-Oh, but not Magic when I was little, but I had absolutely no idea what I was doing.
I played
Yeah,
Pokemon
no,
by
yeah.
myself.
I had
It's like, I
I had
like the
Pokemon
pictures.
cards,
I like
but I never
Pokemon.
knew how to like play with them. So I'd be
Yeah.
like, "That's a shiny one."
It's like, oh, it looks so pretty. I've got this on my game, and look, it's now in card form. I can carry it with me. This is great.
Saddest thing about playing against myself was the fact that I'd always lose, and I'd always focus on that bit.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next one before we get
Move on
bogged
to the
down
next
with
bit of news.
nostalgia?
Yes, yeah. Well, I've got 2 bits of news. So the first one, on a happier note, is that DC have announced that they are doing several comic book productions of Hanna-Barbera assets, such as Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones. And the Scooby-Doo one is the one I'm particularly interested in, because I loved Scooby-Doo as a child, so it's really cool to have an excuse to get back into it as an adult. And the comic is called Scooby Apocalypse, and it is set... Yeah, a post-apocalyptic Scooby-Doo story where the entire gang are trying to survive after the world has ended, and it just looks really cool.
I would pay money to see
It
that as a
sounds-
movie.
Yeah, it sounds legit cool, but then also part of me is like, but it's Scooby-Doo. How are they going to go, like, really gritty post-apocalyptic, or it's going to
Yeah,
be like
or if it's going to be
funny?
really cartoony
Yeah.
type thing. That's what I'm excited to find out, because there gets to a point where you can be nostalgic for Scooby-Doo, but it's like it was very villain of the week.
Yeah.
When you
there'd
get annoyed
be-
about the
It's not
canon of
exactly-
Scooby-Doo is
Yeah.
when you know you're in too
Yeah.
deep.
And it was very villain of the week, so there'd always be, you know, just one guy in a mask, and it'd be
Yeah.
a guy
Like
in a
Swamp
mask every
Monster.
single week. Yeah.
Swamp Monster, it was the janitor again.
Yeah.
All the time.
Why do they keep hiring this guy?
This guy, goddamn, he keeps dressing up in masks and running around scaring the
His
ducks.
CV's literally his criminal record now. It says, sent home from job, pretended to be monster.
Got sentenced to prison for 3 weeks, came out again, another monster.
He just won't stop. He'll never stop.
What were the other books? There was a Flintstones one in there.
Yes, Flintstones,
yeah.
Wacky Racers
Yeah,
as well.
That was, it's like Mad Max, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very Mad Max-esque Wacky Racers. It seems to just be quite a lot of almost far departures from what they once were, but it's still clinging on to
Yeah.
the core, so I'm very excited for that. My other big news of the week is Doctor Who's been delayed. Don't
I'm not
do
happy
this.
about this.
Hail,
not-
hail, the
It's-
Olympics!
It's been delayed and they're not putting it on TV in 2016. The BBC's most popular show, now that they cancelled Top Gear. I'm bloody mad about it, mate. I can't... I'm cancelling my TV licence because of it, because they're only putting on a Christmas special and I'll be home for Christmas, so my parents can deal with that. And the reason that they're not putting it on TV is because, according to the BBC, there are several iconic events happening this year. What are they? A football tournament and the Olympics that aren't even in our country this year. So
We have a chance.
The Great British Bake Off is probably happening again. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty
I
iconic.
don't care about the Great
You don't
British
care?
Bake Off. I hate that show. This news was hot off the press after it was announced that Stephen Moffat will be leaving after Series 10. He'll be replaced by Chris Chibnall of Broadchurch fame.
The episodes that Moffat did were pretty good because
Oh
everyone
yeah,
loves.
singular episodes, like
Yeah.
one-off episodes. He's great at them, but arcs, oh my god!
Yeah, see, this is what my opinion on Moffat's always been, is that comparatively Russell T Davies, who kicked it all off back in 2005, was very strong with his overarching stories that
Yeah.
spanned the background of a whole season. Very, very strong at knitting those together coherently. And his single episodes were good, but they were nothing to write home about. And at that time, Stephen Moffat was producing single and two-part episodes such as The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances,
Girl in the
Blink,
Fireplace.
Girl in the Fireplace, Silence in the Library, all of these
God, yeah.
stellar
Iconic
episodes. Yeah,
ones.
iconic. Like, if you look at favourite episodes of modern Doctor Who, those often come up. And then he became the show writer when David Tennant and Russell T Davies left in 2010, and he hasn't been as strong as
Hasn't been as strong.
coherently knitting together a series arc, and it's often been this
Do we know if he was like,
mess.
kind of prepared for the showrunner thing? Because I don't like. Obviously, he's written some pretty big episodes.
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
Was there a point when like Davis kind of went like, "Come over here. I'm going out to the shops to buy a pack of cigarettes or something. You run the room."
I think you'd have to be tested, because they couldn't just go, "Oh, by the way, Steve-O, you're
Steve-O.
next year."
Why is there one less
Definitely, you're
chair?
the big-
Why is mine over there? What are you doing?
Why'd they put my name at the head of the table?
Why is Stephen Moffat now listed as Big Boss on his LinkedIn profile?
Even scarier. Who's using my LinkedIn?
So yeah, it's that's quite exciting that there's going to be a new show writer. I'm very much looking forward to what he can bring to the table. And Chris Chibnall's bought some pretty good episodes with some good premises, so it should be exciting to see where he takes it. But I'm still annoyed that they're not broadcasting the show this year. Ugh. I don't watch sports. I don't like sports. I don't care for sports. I don't do sports. I don't eat fruit or vegetables. So iconic events, like, what's left for me to watch? There's literally nothing on TV.
Bake
so
Off.
But yeah, Bake Off.
I'm not
This is
watching the
occasion to
Bake
get
Off.
into Bake Off.
The pottery throwdown. The sewing make or mend. The haberdashery hangout. I'm done.
for someone who is such a big fan, you know, I live and breathe Doctor Who. It's been my entire life since the 26th of March 2005 when it first came back, and to have it not on for a whole year. You know, we've had odd sort of scheduling, such as when David Tennant left, he did that 4 specials, but they were spaced out over a year. It was still being broadcast. 2016, we get one Christmas episode right at the end of the year, and let's be fair, Christmas episodes are notorious for being it's just...
I liked Sycorax.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the Sycorax
and then-
one was good.
Sycorax one, first Christmas special, absolutely brilliant.
David Morrissey Doctor.
Yeah, that was also very good. I enjoyed that one. But the more recent ones have been kind of terrible.
Kind of is like an understatement.
Yeah.
I couldn't even finish watching the last one. I don't even remember now.
The last one
So-
was
oh,
River
no.
Song meeting Peter Capaldi's Doctor, so it
Oh
was...
no, it wasn't even that one that I couldn't get through. It was like the previous
What,
all
with
of them.
the
they
face
were-
the face aliens, like the Inception, dream within a dream within a dream within a
Yes.
dream within, and you just
They've
were
all
like,
blended
come on
into-
now.
No, you're
Yeah.
mistaking that for Sherlock Christmas special.
Yeah, because they're exactly the same. They're the
Oh my
same.
God,
He uses
it's
the
the
same
same
idea.
issues.
And Victorian women are Cadbury's-coloured
Yeah.
KKK members, so that was pretty cool to see.
I put a status out after it came out. Was what the best thing I can say about that Sherlock episode. It was like in the top 10 episodes, being only 3 seasons and 1 special, and people were liking it. It's like, yeah, mate, it was pretty damn good. It's like, you can count, can you?
just
Some
numbers.
people on the
numbers
internet
line.
don't understand Scott.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm, that's the one. Some people on the internet don't understand sarcasm.
Can go with X-Files now, I guess.
Yeah, I don't watch the
Go along with
X-Files,
that.
never seen the
I've yet to
X-Files. I've got
watch
nothing
it.
to say about the X-Files.
So, last year around this time we found out there was going to be a 6-episode revival. It'd kind of been one of those things which had been rumoured for a little while, and then there's a podcast from Kumail Nanjiani called The X-Files Files, and it started to get more people involved because they're listening to this, and it's like, oh hey, this show's pretty good, and I've got like a reason to watch it because there's a companion thing that I can listen to after. And he was getting people who had directed, like Darren Morgan and Glenn Morgan, and they were like, we'll bring it back for 6 episodes. 2 of them have going to be mythology, 4 of them are going to be Monster of the Week. And
Okay.
everyone rejoiced.
Yeah.
Like, Monster of the Week, it's where the best stuff happened, because after season 5, the mythology goes off the rails.
Really went off the rails.
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
And season 8 loses
Convoluted. There
Season
was
8
baby
loses
stuff.
Mulder to Dogged and Rees.
Yep.
I've seen lists where it's like, and when you get to season 9, just watch the finale and then you'll be done.
Just skip the entire thing.
So fast forward to last week, had the first 2 episodes come out. First one was horrible. The conspiracy wasn't a conspiracy, it was a conspiracy to cover up the conspiracy or make it seem like it was a conspiracy.
What?
Exactly. It was like, all of the alien stuff, it's not real. It's been man forcing people to like get to this point in time. Because trailers made it seem like Mulder was in the right place. Obviously, things like the NSA hacking, it's like he would obviously be paranoid of that, or things as simple as like the Ashley Madison hack.
Yeah. Ashley Madison.
It just kind of went off the rails and it didn't seem like anyone was fully into it. Second episode was better, that was Monster of the Week. And it was okay, it was like kind of the gruesome X-Files. Not as bad as something like Home, which I don't know if I can describe on air, but if you've seen the X-Files, you know what Home is.
I know what Home is. It's a DreamWorks classic animated
Don't
starring
you dare.
Rihanna and that one guy who plays Sheldon who does the same voice in everything.
We'll come back to that, how you say it, Rihanna, some other time. But the second episode wasn't really anything to write home about. Like, if someone said to you in 10 years, oh, do you remember this? You'd go, no, what was it about? Oh, yeah!
Literally,
And then the third...
not
Home
to
is
write home about.
Yes.
Not to...
Don't you start. And then the third one was very good. Like, it'll end up on top 20 episodes. It was very, very, very funny. Kind of that had Kumail Nanjiani in as a guest spot, and I'm not going to go into any more depth because it spoils a little bit of the episode.
Okay, well,
Okey-dokey.
I think with that we'll cap off the news and move into our world famous segment, The Daily Ridley, which
We're
is where we
getting
discuss.
sued.
Yeah, it's where we discuss all things Star Wars. And so this week's it's not a daily thing, it's a weekly, but it's a clever name.
Not the joke, the sanctity of the joke.
Yeah, but speaking of delays, such as the one I'm very annoyed about with Doctor Who, Star Wars Episode 8 was announced recently that it's being delayed by a whole 7 months.
No.
So it's being moved from May to December. It seems to be that Disney have taken the initiative, which I think is pretty wise, to be honest, because December is a gap in the market that's not been filled yet. So they've taken that to go, right, December is Star Wars month. Done. That's ours.
I was initially angry because I was on the hype train. It's like, well, it's only 12 months until Rogue One, but then it's only 5.
Yeah. Like, it was exciting to have that. There's such a small gap between Star Wars films, but I do see the reasoning behind the move, because it makes sense for them to grab December, a relatively empty month in their film
Plus,
calendar.
Well, they've
December is also good for toys and merchandising.
Exactly.
They're not Ray toys. Where are they,
They're not
Disney?
Ray toys.
They made a boatload with Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be making more of these Star Wars movies, I'll tell you that.
That's smashing box office records every single day.
Not only that, like, it was well received critically as well. It
yeah.
wasn't just like the prequels when they kind of made a decent amount of money but middling reviews.
Yeah, because it was just people hoping that it was going to be better than it was last time. But
There's
this was a good film by all accounts.
Yeah. There was when the prequels were coming out, there was the bit on The Simpsons with the comic book. It was the worst movie I've ever seen. I will only see it 3 times today.
That was a very strong impression. I like that. I enjoyed that.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Yeah.
Rebels is supposedly improving if the mid-season trailer's anything to go by. Basically, Rebels has been good, not as good as Clone Wars was once it hit its peak.
Yeah, I'm
it's
watching that at the moment, very much enjoying it. So
it's fun, and like, I'm still watching it, but it's one of those things where I know it has so much more potential, and it's just not reaching that. Same like I'm feeling with kind of like Flash and Arrow this season. I think part of it's maybe time, part of it's maybe the arc doesn't seem to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm not asking for it to go fully serialized, because I don't think you can do that with a kids show. People only watch like 1/4 of the episodes in each TV season, which is probably a lie now.
yeah, it's I don't know, because the first 2 seasons of Clone Wars are kind of renowned for being a bit slow, enjoyable but slow.
I'll call it a kids show then.
Yeah, so if that's anything to go by, which it's probably not because they're entirely different shows, it could be that it might gain some traction and get better with more seasons.
I think it's probably just like kind of in retrospect we know that Clone Wars got good
Yes.
around this time. It's just the fact that in the moment you're kind of disappointed.
If not, Disney will still make loads of money from it, so
Yeah.
my opinion means nothing.
What are you talking about? I've only seen Force Awakens 3 times.
I've seen it 4 times. I'm giving them so many pennies. I'm single-handedly keeping Disney
Yeah.
afloat. I think that's going to be close out for the Daily Ridley this week. So with that finished, it's on to our main topic of the week, which is comic book relaunches. Recently we've seen the Marvel Universe relaunch or reboot, and there's also been rumours of the DC Comics relaunching their titles 5 years after the New 52, which is quite a short amount of time, into DC Rebirth. But I think first we're going to discuss the Marvel relaunch.
Right, now, Annabelle, you
Me?
aren't kind of into
Yes.
comics as
I
much as
don't read comics
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah, you kind of read more indie stuff.
Yeah,
don't
I
you?
like indie things.
Yeah.
and-
So what are you reading right now?
What am I reading right now? Due to the fact that I've had to limit it because of money reasons, I'm pretty much only reading The Wicked and the Divine.
All right, so that's a very good
So-
book from Jamie McKelvey,
Yeah.
Kieran Gillen, Clayton Cowles, Matthew Wilson, about gods who are reborn every 90 years, but they only live for 2 years.
Yes.
And
I love it.
It's really picked up steam.
Yeah.
And the last arc was fantastic.
That
was
sounds
so
quite
good.
intriguing.
The last one I've read is just massive cliffhanger. I want to read the next one.
Okay.
God damn it.
It's
Yeah.
back in April as a jumping on point if anyone wants to pick up.
I might do that.
Yeah.
But talking about jumping on points,
Whoa.
Segues.
yeah, segues,
Segueing.
yeah, those things. Secret Wars is a pretty good jumping on point for people who want to get into Marvel Comics. I mean, not even Secret Wars necessarily, just the 0 issues of All New, All Different Marvel is really good. I mean,
Everything was relaunched.
Yeah.
even the
All
stuff
of
that's
it.
even the stuff that started at the beginning of 2015.
yeah, like
came back with a number 1.
Spider-Gwen and Silk. I mean,
Yeah.
me personally, the stuff I read is almost exclusively Spider-Man related. So The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Silk, Web Warriors, Spider-Verse, all of that good stuff. And I re-jumped onto Marvel back last year when they relaunched The Amazing Spider-Man following Superior Spider-Man, and we're booting up Gwen and Silk and stuff, and they've rebooted that all already, so it's a really good time to jump on if you want to get into comics.
Yeah, like sure there is stuff which has happened before that you're going to get that with almost kind of any jumping on point unless you go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to 1963, but that's not
It's a
viable.
lot.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh,
not
that's
everything
a
is
lot.
good.
Yes,
Like,
that's
I would hate to have to kind of wade through, say, like the first 60 issues, I want to say, of X-Men when Jack Kirby and Stan Lee were doing, because it wasn't that great.
yeah,
I think
or the Clone Saga, which dragged out.
that's like 7 years of the 90s for Spider-Man.
yeah, that was a long time.
Aunt May's dead, but she's not dead. She's an actress, and
Yeah.
there's like these different copies of Peter Parker, and oh god,
It's really convoluted.
Yeah.
So this, I mean, obviously, like you said, any time there's going to be years of history, but when they're relaunching everything, like, what better time is there
Yeah.
to jump on board with stuff?
there are some titles which aren't as good of jumping on points. Like we said that Silk and Spider-Gwen had new number 1s, but you can kind of pick up the volumes that came out before that. They're being marketed as volume 0s,
Yes, yeah.
which is a smarter way to do it. It's not necessary, but it will help provide context and things. Like,
Yeah, and you can always grab. I mean, there are only, I think, 8 issues, maybe even less, of Silk and Spider-Gwen,
Yeah.
so you can pick up a trade paperback of those, and then that will give you the grounding that you may or may not need.
Yeah, which obviously you can find on Amazon if kind of anyone hasn't heard this lingo before. A trade paperback is essentially like a collected edition of a story arc, so between maybe 5 and 7 issues.
Yeah.
And then there are other stuff like you can get kind of oversized hardcovers which look nicer. Omnibuses are kind of the same, but will collect a whole run. There
So
are-
you can buy them issue by issue in your local comic book store or online, or if you miss some, like Matthew said, it's nice little collections.
And then there's obviously digital comics, which
Yes.
it's there. They're never going to run out of copies.
Yeah, that's something I'm thinking of getting into because comics are expensive.
So,
Yeah.
oh god, I've just realised how much I spend.
Yeah, I spend a lot per month. I mean, I think at the moment I've got about 15 subscriptions running of different titles, so it's
Yeah,
big stuff.
I'm kind of trimming mine down as I go.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like,
trying to
I
do.
tried out like a fair bit of the relaunch, and then there are things I may get rid of.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
for example, like Ultimates is by Al Ewing and Kenneth Rocafort, and it's kind of the big heavy hitters. So you've got Black Panther in there, you have Captain Marvel, Blue Marvel, Monica Rambeau, who was Captain Marvel a while ago. See how comics are confusing?
Yeah.
Miss America, who isn't related to Captain America. She's from a different dimension. She can punch holes in dimensions. It's like a very beautiful book, and then it's kind of doing lots of big cosmic stuff. Like the first 2 issues dealt with Galactus,
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
then it's kind of looking into how time is broken. It's almost picking up the pieces. We're kind of left on the board when Secret Wars started and everything ended.
Okay, yeah.
And not necessarily kind of using all of those threads in the same way they would have been used if Secret Wars had never happened, because obviously everything was kind of prepared for Secret Wars to come.
Yeah.
But it's adding a new spin to them, which is quite interesting to see.
I mean, if we quickly sort of run over Secret Wars so we can catch people up on what that is. Secret Wars is the kind of the last remnants of the Marvel Universe before they rebooted it, and it's the story of how it all changed. So the story essentially begins where these things called incursions happen, which is where universes or realities are pitted against each other, and they will both be destroyed unless one destroys the other. And there is an incursion between the main Marvel Universe, which is the 616, and then the Ultimate Marvel Universe. They're pitted against each other, and it's at this point that the Nick Fury of the Ultimate Universe decides to lead a full-scale invasion of the 616 universe in an attempt to save his own reality. So we come to the 616 reality, and it's all hands on deck. There are heroes fighting the invasion all over the place. So whilst most of the heroes are doing this, Reed Richards, the does-nothing of the Marvel Universe...
How dare you!
he is building a multiversal life raft, which will allow approximately 60-plus people to be shielded from the collapse of a universe and travel into whatever state of reality follows it.
The giant polo of safety.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That is pretty much what it is. It looks suspiciously like the clone station in the first Star Wars film, The Phantom Menace. It looks quite similar to that, so there's a visual for you. All of it goes to hell. The heroes can't keep back the invasion any longer, and so some of them run for the life raft, but only Peter Quill, Star-Lord, female Thor, Jane Foster, Peter Parker Spider-Man, Carol Danvers, Cyclops, playing host to the Phoenix Force, all the members of the Fantastic Four, so that's Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, Sue Richards, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, Ben Grimm, the Thing, and then Sue and Reed's children, Franklin and Valeria, yes. So they are all inside the life raft as it escapes the collapse of the 616 universe. I forgot about Black Panther, he's in there as well. Don't forget about that. So yeah, they all escape. So it's approximately 10 characters from the 616 universe escape with their lives. Everyone else, for all intents and purposes, is dead. Tragedy is not far away as the section holding all members of the Fantastic Four except for Reed collapses and falls away from the life raft. A rescue is attempted, but the fallen section disintegrates, obliterating everyone inside. So Reed is the only member of the Fantastic Four left alive. And then the life raft lands on a strange world, which we find to be Battleworld, which is run by Doctor Doom. He's created this entire world on which it's just this bizarre concoction of many things we've seen before in the Marvel Universe.
He's basically pulled together every remnant of universes that he can find. It's very much like a patchwork.
Yeah, and it's created this
nice quilty sort of world.
this
a quilt of
lovely
patriarchy.
Quilt. Yeah. And so yeah, Doctor Strange operates as the sheriff of Battleworld, and the Battleworld is policed by the Thor Corps, which is a amalgamation of all different types of Thor from different realities, and they just function as a kind of police force for this thing, which is...
Thor is a terrible name, I feel like I should put out there.
Yeah, I know, it's like a tongue twister.
CSI Thor, then.
Yeah, so he has this kind of patchwork world, and then it's shielded, and outside of the shield is the Deadlands, which is just inhabited by mostly the Marvel zombies. But we soon discover that Franklin, Valeria and Sue are alive, and they appear to have been saved by Doctor Doom, but they have had their memories altered. They don't remember Reed Richards, and they think that they are Doom's son, daughter and wife respectively, so it shakes things up a bit. This is an in-depth story, come on.
Built to over the course of 7 years.
Yeah, it is heavy.
It's a lot.
We see that Thanos, the Maker, the Cabal, and Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe have survived on another life raft. And we also find out that Miles Morales, the Ultimate version of Spider-Man, escaped on this ship, but was hidden. We then discover that the 616 life raft, containing the characters which I mentioned earlier, including Peter Parker Spider-Man, Peter Quill, etc., etc., Opens up, and it has been revealed that they were in stasis for 8 years, but for them it only feels like a few hours. There's some room for some confusion there.
There's the moment when Reed kind of realises how long his family's gone.
Yes,
And it's
yeah.
heartbreaking.
Stephen Strange has a bit of back and forward with the people in there. He begins to trust them and begins to reveal more about this strange universe that they're in. He reveals that the Beyonders, which are all-powerful beings in the Marvel Universe, caused the universes to collide, and that he and Doctor Doom defeated them and took some of their power for their own. This is enabled by the Molecule Man, who is a unique being across the multiverse in that only one version of him existed but copied multiple times. So the Beyonders would initiate the end of a particular reality by detonating that particular reality's Molecule Man. Doom, Strange and the 616 Molecule Man gathered Molecule Men from across the multiverse, combined them into a massive bomb, which they detonated and directed towards the Beyonders. So the Beyonders were killed. The 616 Molecule Man absorbed all their power and in turn channeled it to Doom, who was able to create Battleworld with this immense power. Whilst this is all going on, we find that the Thor Corps are battling the Cabal, and Strange, Doom and the survivors of the 616 go to the scene. Doom attacks the Cabal and the group that came with them, and some of them are killed in the process, which enrages Cyclops, who is host to the Phoenix Force, and he attacks Doom, and Doom kills him by snapping his neck, because he's a super nice guy.
He didn't even get a chance to use the Phoenix Force.
Rest in pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally in pieces, because his neck has been tragically broken.
Cyclops can't catch a break.
After this happens, Doctor Strange decides to teleport the survivors away, and this is seen by Doom as a betrayal. So Doom then kills Doctor Strange by blasting him with a load of energy. So he's just a real nice guy. And it's at this point where you're reading it and you start to feel a bit, maybe you're not so much liking this guy, because he seemed like he was real nice by saving them all, but no.
Maybe he's just Doom.
Yeah, maybe the name could have been an indicator for them.
You would assume that a guy named Doctor
Yeah.
Doom would be a real dickhead.
Why didn't he go by another name or something? Why didn't he just go to them like, "Hi, I'm Doctor Kittens, Doctor De Kittens."
Yeah, I'm Doctor Real Nice Guy. That's me. Hello, I'm here to save the world.
Just give me the Molecule Man bomb.
So the next issue cuts to 3 weeks later, and Battleworld is in complete disarray. There are revolts against Doom happening all over the place. They're being fought under the name of someone called the Prophet. Doom is losing all footholds and control of this world that he's created. And then the two Reed Richards find each other and team up in an attempt to defeat Doctor Doom. The 616 Reed is not as willing to kill him as the Ultimate Universe Reed is, so that leads to a bit of tension. And the two of them send both Spider-Men, Miles Morales and Peter Parker, to attempt to discover the source of Doom's power, which we know to be Molecule Man, but through dramatic irony, they don't quite know this yet. So the Spider-Men find Molecule Man, and they find him starving because Doom has, put him in this little chamber to channel his power, but he doesn't feed him, so,
He's really bad with his pets.
Yeah,
he is not a responsible pet owner. And
No.
you can expect that from a man called Doctor Doom.
So, they're trying to extract information from him, and they eventually get
not
the
even
information
yet.
that they've been looking for as to the source of Doom's power, because Miles Morales is carrying a nice little 3-week-old burger in the sweaty pockets of his spandex, and he just gives that to Molecule Man there. He's like, here you go, you're
so
hungry.
delicious.
Yeah. You're a pretty hungry guy, aren't you? Have this sweaty burger.
Last one in the
And
universe.
all is cured.
Yeah,
Everything is cured.
everything
by a
is
sweaty
happy.
Burger.
Yeah, sweaty
That's
burgers.
the true message.
That's
of
the slogan of McDonald's. Sweaty burgers cures everything.
cures everything. Thumbs up.
So the two Spider-Men find out what they want to know as to the source of Doom's power and move on their way. And we then move to focus on Black Panther, who has gone to Doctor Strange hidden Isle of Agamotto. He goes into Strange's home and is confronted by a projection of the deceased sorcerer. He identifies as a member of the Illuminati, which enables them to trust each other, and he is given some powerful items that Strange has collected over the years, including the Siege Courageous and the Infinity Gauntlet. It's a really involved story. I tried to condense it down for the show. Following this, a fight ensues outside Castle Doom, led by the previously mentioned Prophet, who is revealed to be Maximus the Mad. He leads a fight against the barons and generals of Doom, and there are all sorts of betrayals and cross-betrayals and double betrayals and many betrayals and things happen here. Whilst this is happening, the two Reeds are continuing their plan, and Black Panther convinces the Marvel zombies outside the Shield to help him fight against Doom, because Black Panther is King of the Dead, Michael Jackson Thriller style. Goes in and does a little dance, and all the zombies are like, yeah,
dude,
we'll help
like
you.
And then Thanos had been teleported to the Deadlands as well and spoke to the Shield, which was a version of Ben Grimm, the Thing.
Yes.
Convinced him to get up and walk.
And there's so much going on. Lots of fights are going on here. There's one involving Black Swan and Star-Lord, and Star-Lord makes a giant Groot out of a throne somehow, and then there's the giant thing. Galactus and Franklin have a little fight as well, and I think Franklin uses Galactus to kill Ben, so little fight was probably an understatement.
Maestro gets stomped on.
Yeah, there's chaos exploding all over the place, mate. It's madness. And then there's a bit that I was pretty excited for, because Doom goes up toe-to-toe.
Toe to a deer.
Yes, yeah. So
Pick your animal.
so there was a part that I was pretty excited for, where Doom goes toe-to-toe with Thanos, and these are two pretty powerful guys in the Marvel Universe. They're pretty big players, so I was expecting this to be very good, but there was some snarky back and forth, and I was preparing for this awesome battle between these powerhouses, and then Doom punches Thanos in the heart and turns him into a skeleton. So it was over like that, and so
All
disappointing.
hail God Emperor Doom.
Basically the most powerful guy.
Yeah, and he's not a nice guy. He keeps
He's
just
not a
killing
nice
people
man.
left, right, and centre.
Doom is really
Act of kindness,
real
save them.
descriptor.
Act
Yeah.
of horror, murder them all.
And
Show
so
them
yeah.
truly that you're a generous guy.
Yeah.
So as this happens, a portal appears, and would you believe it, Black Panther is there with his Infinity Gauntlet, leading all the zombies like bloody Michonne from The
is it
Walking
like-
Dead, mate.
is
He's
it-
got all those zombies on him.
Is it a moment like in Lord of the Rings where he turns up with the ghosts? And the
Pretty
ghost
much.
element?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that, but not
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
But with
but
the
Not
dead.
Yeah.
but where he charges forward.
Yeah.
A man in black over like a man in white.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh man.
Doctor Doom and Panther have a big old fight. Doom with the powers of the Beyonder, and Panther with the Infinity Gauntlet. And so they're all fighting. And then Reed Richards and the Maker go and find the Molecule Man. But at this point, there's another betrayal, because these are happening left, right, and centre. The Maker betrays Reed Richards because he thinks he's weak, and then something really weird happens, and he traps him in a bubble, and Reed Richards gets de-evolved back into an ape. So it's really bizarre. But then Molecule Man is like, I ain't having any of that stuff, and rescues Reed Richards by splitting the Maker into multiple little slices, like a fine ham.
Yeah. I was
And,
about to
um,
mention
he's
like
been,
a nice
like,
bit of
salami'd.
ham.
Yeah, been proper salami'd
Have
up.
a sandwich with him. A mug.
And,
make a sandwich. That's
A
it.
tasty Marvel sandwich.
Tasty
Help you when the
Marvel
next
sandwich.
universe reboot happens.
Keep your sustenance up for all of this.
Then we go back to the battle, because it's just all over the shop. Doctor Doom realises that Black Panther's fight that's been led against him was actually just a distraction from Reed Richards' sneaking into Molecule Man's hiding place, which Doom knows is where his power all comes from, so he immediately teleports there in a desperate attempt to keep a grasp on his powers. He finds Reed there and confronts him, attempts to use his powers to destroy him, but Molecule Man has taken most of his abilities away in revenge for not feeding him. So he's finally decided he's had enough, and the burger reawakened him. Annabelle's got her hand up.
I've got
so
a question. Which Reed is this?
This is...
This isn't
616.
Monkey Reed. This isn't...
Yeah,
No,
it's Monkey Reed.
It was reversed.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it
was
was
reversed.
reversed.
It's
He
reversed on that
salamied him
page.
up.
Oh, on the same page.
Yeah.
It's just like Monkey
Yeah.
and back.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is
Okay.
Marvel. It's really
This
great.
is Marvel. Monkey
Compressed storytelling at its finest.
Yep.
Yeah, Molecule Man's getting pretty hungry, so he decides to take his powers, and then Reed Richards and Doctor Doom faced off, firing insults left, right and centre. Doom mocks Reed for not succeeding in finding a way to save the multiverse, whilst he had. But Reed counters, saying that Doom is insecure and was compensating for something, because when he obtained these super great powers, he immediately stole Mr. Fantastic's family from him. So
Smells like teen angst.
yeah,
So sad
and
and
it's
angsty.
all revealed that Doom is afraid of Mr. Fantastic. Who'd have guessed it after that little reveal? And Reed tells Doom that he would have done a much better job at saving the multiverse, something to which Doom confesses. And upon hearing this, Molecule Man transfers the Beyonder's powers to Reed Richards, and he destroys Battleworld and forms a new universe, which is Earth Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's essentially 616, and it's kind
Reborn.
of brought in some Ultimate stuff as well.
Yeah, it's like a amalgamation
Yeah.
of the two, and it's 616, but it's not. Comics are for nerds. Yeah, so what we can take from this discussion is that the secret in Secret Wars was that Doctor Doom was a little bit insecure about himself. So, be nice to each other, or else Derek from work, who eats his lunch alone at his desk, might destroy the reality, rebuild a new one like a Hornby train set, and then steal your girlfriend.
What kind of train set? We talking O-gauge?
It's
Oh,
very detailed.
there are so many to
It's got
choose
little-
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think he should have taken a more traditional route with dealing with his insecurity. Got himself a nice little Instagram page, take some selfies, hashtag them, and then get lots of likes and attentions from strangers as some odd form of social validation. That
Did
would
we
help
just
him.
subtweet DJ Khaled?
Another one.
We get into a war already. Because I've got a list.
Woo.
And that launched all new, all different Marvel. And I mean, titles I've picked up in that are things like The Amazing Spider-Man, Spidey, which is really good, taking it right back to when Spider-Man first started and doing some more adventures of Peter Parker as a young teenager. So that's really interesting to see. It's nice to see it brought back to that
to its
stage.
roots.
Without having to, it's not reworking anything or rewriting it. It's just he was a teenager for only a few years in terms of publication history, so they've got several, gaps that they can fill in with new stories, which is nice to see. There's some other good titles like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's really good now, and Peter Quill, Star-Lord, has left the Guardians to go off on his own adventures, so he's got his own title. And now Kitty Pryde from X-Men fame is now Star Lady, and she's taken over the mantle of leading the Guardians, so that's really fun to get into. But I think my personal favourites of the reboot are Silk and Spider-Gwen, which are both Spider-Man related titles. And Spider-Gwen is an alternate reality version of Gwen Stacy, who died originally in the Spider-Man series, but she's alive in this other universe and was the one bitten by the spider, so she's got spider powers, and it's cool just to see that character brought back and given adventures of her own. Personally, she's my favourite Marvel character, so I really like that. And I also really like Silk. The idea there is that the spider that bit Peter Parker also bit another person, who is Silk, and now she's out in New York having her own adventures, and I'm really enjoying that. The artwork in it is really, really beautiful.
Stacey Lee look.
Yeah, Stacey Lee, and she does it like it's hand drawn with the pen and ink, like most comics are. But there's this sort of bizarre amalgamation where usually they do it digitally, so you can all see that the colours are neatly filled in and such. But with Stacey Lee, she kind of goes over the outlines in digital ink, so it's all nice solid blacks. But then the inserts of some panels are, you can see the individual brush strokes of the paint pens, and it's just it's gorgeous artwork. It's really dynamic. I love it. It's such an amazing title. But it's the all new, all different Marvel is a really, really good excuse. It's a really well thought out reboot for Marvel. It's really exciting to jump on board. So if you're, like Annabelle, you're looking for an excuse to get into comics, highly suggest it. Go down to your local comic book shop. Most of them will have back issues because it's been going 4 months. Yeah, so you've got 4 issues. You'll be able to find those online or in your local store. They usually have catalogues. Just go in and grab some.
Also, if you don't know what you want, you have favourite movies and favourite TV shows. Ask
Yeah,
whoever's at
exactly.
the store to ask that, say it's your first time there and you're not really sure.
Yeah.
Kind of say that, and they should be able to find something for you.
Yeah, the comic book community is really nice. There's a lot of, it's sort of an apprentice and a master system where you will find someone who's more into it. They'll help you find a stepping stone in, and they'll guide you until you're in, and then you can do the same for someone else later. So, I mean, I had it done for me by someone I know, and it's really good, and you've just got that frame of reference. So, yeah, if you're Annabelle, you like the Marvel movies, I assume, for the most part.
That's a topic to get into.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. But
okay.
do you, for the most part, you
For the
enjoy?
most
Okay.
part.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
what would you
enjoy
say
select
you look?
movies.
Yeah. What would you say you look for in if you were like kind of going to a store? What kind of book
What
are you
kind
looking
of
for?
comic?
Yeah.
Like an individual art style and story sort of thing. I don't really want to.
I'll push Vision then, which is by Tom King, Gary Walter, and Geordie Belair.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm forgetting the latter, but I apologise to them if by chance they listen to this. But the premise is that Vision was kind of having hallucinations. And prior to Secret Wars, like 10 years ago, he was married to Scarlet Witch, and that kind of fell apart as like a big kind of spiral of things. And then, well, obviously weren't together. And then in this, he's kind of remembering different events of when they were together. And he decides that he's going to purge his emotions in order to like prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
And he has this family of androids. There's Vivian, Vin, and Virginia, I think. And they kind of live in the suburbs. And it's kind of how do people perceive them? And it's kind of written as like this omniscient narrator. Like there's kind of this thing where in the first issue they have neighbors round, kind of in the same way that you see in kind of whenever an American movie has people move to a new neighborhood, they have dinner or something.
Yeah.
And then the neighbors are shown around the house. It's kind of all these different things. Like, here's the original Human Torch's lighter from 1943.
Okay.
Here's like a vase from the Silver Surfer and
Someone
things.
Famous.
Yeah, and then kind of as they're leaving, the narration is like, they'll wonder one day while the vase was empty. They'll wonder one day why all of this had to happen. They'll never know why it truly did. And it's honestly the best book that Marvel's putting out right now. There's
I'll look into that.
yeah, there's other stuff like Howard the Duck.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
very funny. Like that's kind of I guess it's self-contained. Like it's not really. I don't think you're ever going to see that in like a Secret Wars thing. Seriously.
Yeah, Howard the Duck's always been a more light-hearted series.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so if you're into the movies, you've got things like The Avengers, you've got Spider-Man, obviously, Captain America, Deadpool, that's a movie that's coming out, Guardians of the Galaxy. So if there's movies you liked from the Marvel Universe, whether it's, Marvel, Fox, Sony, whatever, there's titles for those, or if there's a movie coming up that you're looking forward to, again, Deadpool,
Doctor Strange,
yeah.
That book is wonderful.
Black Panther, that's a good...
that looks fantastic.
So there's a title for movies you liked if you want to jump into those. Ant-Man again, movies that are coming out. So you can just, if you have an interest in something, you can find them. Or if you're looking for a new title, again, they've got things like that, like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It looks quite interesting.
Yeah,
for the most
I think
part.
that's the thing. Like some of these titles will end up getting cancelled.
Yes.
Like, for example, Black Knight was cancelled, and that hasn't made it to the end of its first arc, but it's the willingness that Marvel has to kind of give things a go and see, and DC was kind of attempting this with DCU, which was not a relaunch or a renumbering, but kind of a new wave of books that were pushed out. It's just that they didn't market it enough for it to take hold, and that could be why the potential relaunch is happening.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's just a relaunch is a time in which they can put out several new titles, and if something doesn't work, then it doesn't matter. You can cancel it and carry on with what's successful. So
DC has fallen behind because of the fact that Secret Wars was successful and Marvel got the Star Wars license this year.
Yeah.
Like, first issue of Star Wars sold 1 million copies.
Wow. Which is big for a comic for people who don't
At
grasp
least
the subject.
900,000 copies more than most things sell.
Yeah. So, talking of DC, shall we move into news of the DC rebirth?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't read much DC myself, but this seems like an excuse for me to get into it. So I'll let Matthew take this because he is very knowledgeable on DC stuff.
Okay, so as Harry said earlier, 5 years ago, the New 52 happened, in which DC kind of went, right, we're going to reboot everything, go to a number one, wipe all continuity, let us have kind of like a more condensed timeline of 5 years where stuff's happened, so we're not just retelling the same old stories or replacing them, but people can jump on. Didn't go so well because there were kind of editorial problems. Like at the time, Grant Morrison was on Batman, and at that point he'd just finished Batman and Robin and was kind of about 8 issues into Batman Incorporated, which was kind of this idea of like Batman around the world.
Okay, yeah.
And he wasn't done yet. Like the end game of his run was to like kind of end with Damian and something happening to him, which I'm not going to spoil because it's an incredible run. And so you can't just cut him off with maybe like 13 more issues to go. So they said that stuff had to happen and kind of let him have Batman Incorporated coming in.
Yeah.
And there's still loads, like in those 5 years, Batman goes through 4 Robins.
Wow.
He's not a very good.
He's killing those Robins off.
Yeah, there's that, like the fact that Jason Todd would have died and then come back, that he would have had his back broken. And the same thing applied with Green Lantern, because Geoff Johns had like another 3 arcs to go through, and he gained enough kind of prominence at DC in the last decade that I think at that time he was their chief creative officer, as he is now, and so that will continue. And then you kind of had confusing things like with Superman, there's Superman and Action Comics. Action Comics had Grant Morrison on it. He was doing the story set 5 years ago. George Perez was on the main Superman title. He wasn't being told what Morrison was doing. Tim Drake was completely screwed over. I don't know what happened to Tim Drake,
What
and I don't
happened to Tim Drake?
Yeah, I don't think I can explain it because I don't know what's happened and what hasn't. And it was successful in terms of sale, but it was kind of a mess in that way. And then we're coming very close to the 52nd issue of the titles which have made it. I think there aren't that many. There's kind of Justice League, Green Arrow, Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman.
All your big
yeah,
guns.
There's only like 8 or 9 that have actually made it. Will actually make it to 52, aside from kind of like Batman Eternal, which was a weekly series and ran 52 issues, but that's a special case. Every month there are these things called solicitations which are put out in order to let retailers know what's coming out in 3 months, so they can make the right orders.
Yes, yeah.
And about 5 or 6 years ago they were kind of being shown to the public so they could see what was coming in. Obviously go to their comic shop and say, oh hey, I'd like this, can you add it on? It's like, great, because I'm already putting in the order for that. And we were expecting DC to do something for the 52nd issue anyway, because it's their number essentially.
Yes.
Started getting more rumours about this thing called Rebirth, idea of a relaunch. Kind of started getting rumours that the solicitations for issue 51, there's a lot of kind of fill-in people, not the regular writers and artists. It seemed almost as if they were gearing up for something, and DC was kind of just putting people on the book just for those last 2 issues so they could kind of hit the ground running and be it, and the main writers could be, say, 3 or 4 issues ahead. And then kind of yesterday we started having some more stuff come in. So that it was being Mark Silvestri was apparently going to be on Batman, but rumours are now that that's more like an original graphic novel or a side title. That Scott Snyder, who's writing Batman, is going to be moving over to Detective Comics. That Tom King is now going to be on Batman, who I said is doing Vision. He also did Grayson, Omega Men, Sheriff of Babylon, and Green Lantern one-shot for Darkseid War. Like, he's more of a rising star than Al Ewing is. He's risen to like kind of the A game already if they're putting him on Batman. There are also rumours like things that are double shipping. Apparently Superman is, and Pete Tomasi's writing that. What else? Kind of cancelled things, Black Canary, Midnighter, Starfire. Apparently there's a Justice Society of America title coming. Damian Wayne's going to lead the Teen Titans. There's a Comic Trinity being like Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman. And that kind of people are pitching against each other.
Again, DC rebooting, or it seems to be. It's nothing to do with the previously mentioned Scooby-Doo, as we speculated earlier in the week, that Rebirth might have meant, Scooby-Doo's getting remade.
Yeah.
It's not. But so there's a Rebirth coming for DC titles, which is, again, another excuse for people like Annabelle and people like me. I've never been much into DC, but Zero titles are always a good time to jump on, so I'll probably pick up things like Batman. I loved the Teen Titans cartoon as a kid, so to read that in comics, that would be enjoyable. Little bit of nostalgia coming from that. Obviously there'll be totally different things, but it's that, it's finding that link in between something you like and what they're producing. So all these Rebirth rumours are pretty cool. Essentially it seems to be coming about because DC realised that Batman isn't a very good legal guardian. He kills all the children, and he gets his son and he goes, hey son, would you like a little sword and to come out fighting crime with me? And then he gets hurt and he goes, you should go and lead your own superhero team. He's a very very irresponsible guardian, Batman. So that is why it's a Who Knew exclusive. DC are rebooting their comics because Batman cannot look after children. Don't send your children to Gotham Nursery.
Bad dad man.
Bad dad man. So Batman is bad, and don't send your children to Gotham Nursery because they will get given a sword.
The Gotham Academy is a very good book, very fun, very cute art style.
Yes, yeah, I've heard about that one. Again, not read it. I've only read the classics like Year One, F in the Family, etc.
Yeah.
All those good classics. I think that covers the main topic of the show. Is just reboots, and it comes in quite well for the first episode of Who Knew. Comics coming out, new podcast radio show thing coming out to help you get in, so it's all about that being started.
Synergy.
And
Now we just have to
into
hope that the story doesn't break more tomorrow.
Yes. So you can you can start getting into comics, you can come to us and take this journey with us right from episode 1. Now the main topic's done, we'll go on to our sort of recommendation section. So it's what are we reading, watching, doing at the moment that we think you guys might enjoy. So I'll open up saying I've started watching Star Wars The Clone Wars animated series. I'm halfway through season 5 at the moment, and it's very, very good. Really good show. I mean, I didn't get into it when it came out because I don't have cable, so I can't watch that kind of thing. And also I thought it was a kids show, but it's really is but isn't, and it's really good. So yeah, that's a thing. I've also just finished Mr. Robot on Amazon Prime. Really good, highly recommend that. And at the moment I'm reading the Jedi Manual, which is a really cool, almost like Bible for Jedi. So it teaches you the ways of the Jedi, lightsaber fighting techniques. Highly enjoyable. It's all printed on parchment and wrapped in a sort of bound cover, so it's got a really archaic feel to it. It's just a really nice quality book. And I've just started reading Amazing Spider-Man issue 4, I think, just got shipped out to me. So
Right.
Reading that.
Okay, so I'm just starting season 4 of Battlestar Galactica, the newer series, not the old one, because I don't think that made it past 1 season. Don't even know if it got a full season. But it's really good. It's a show that was affected by 9/11, and that it's dealing with sleeper cells and kind of hidden agents and bombings and kind of who can we trust if they look like us and blend in with us. It's gripping television. Like the new Caprica arc at the start of season 3 is maybe the best arc of sci-fi television. There's moments with musical cues in the season 3 finale, which I can't spoil because they deserve to be watched.
Yeah.
And then I'm also reading the first Veronica Mars novel, which is based on takes cues from the Veronica Mars TV show and movie, taking place after them, with a case back in Neptune. Really fun. I can hear the characters in my head, which is what I was looking for.
Anna, are you doing anything, Annabelle?
Am I doing anything?
Reading, watching anything?
I guess I could say I've been rewatching Hannibal.
Okay.
In my bitterness. That it's still prevailing that I'm bitter that it was cancelled.
Okay, American Gods is like a 3-season
yes.
commitment.
Yes, at least
gonna get that.
He's got committed things. Brian Fuller will not continue the curse, please, of being cancelled early. So I suppose I've been rewatching Hannibal, and I've been reading a lot of uni work. Woo! Hooray!
As has everybody.
Shall we discuss the merits of Saracen Truffaut on the auteur theory?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll interest everyone on air.
I think with that, I'm going to bring the episode to a close. So we have been Who Knew? We broadcast an hour-long show every single Monday on CSRfm, 6 till 7 p.m, and then we upload the full show afterwards to iTunes and YouTube as a podcast for you all to enjoy. You can find us on iTunes and YouTube, as well as Facebook and Twitter. Just search Who Knew Pod. We also encourage you to email us at whoknewpod@gmail.com so we can get some correspondence going. We can find out what comics you guys are into. You can suggest topics that you want to come up on the show, anything like that, and we'll read them out in the letters section that we would normally slide in after we close the main discussion topic of the week. I can also be found on Twitter at BTDoobs, that is BTDOOBZ. Matthew can be found at
Matt_Sibley.
And Annabelle at
Unsatisfied. UNSOTISFIED. I would not recommend following me.
So send us a tweet, follow us, and enjoy. So thanks for listening, guys.
Goodbye,
We'll see you
dear
next
viewers.
week.
Bye.